So if I go on YouTube, will it allow me to see who's on there? You know what I'm saying? Because I know we
We
live.
we live. I'm about to say.
All the way live. What's up? Y'all call it live action. So welcome to all of you family. You heard that because I had my YouTube on in the background. So again, all the way live, doing everything. Welcome my family all across YouTube, Instagram, X, who we might call Twitter, and StreamYard. For those of you who don't know and can't read on the screen, my name is George Opperman. I am now the Pills president and CEO, taking the baton from my brother Josh. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Afternoon, morning if you're on the West Coast, like Geo. If you snowed in, welcome. Hopefully you feeling warm, but I'm Josh. I am the former president CEO, but currently the executive chairman and all the other things that this family needs because we at every stage. So even at the stage that you're in, you under a blanket, you under a fire. Hopefully you got some warm hot cocoa because I know it's cold. Maybe not for the West Coast people, lucky them. But for us, even in Texas, we cold. So honored to be with you guys. Hope that you guys are doing well, and we have a great, just a couple of tidbits that we want to share with you all today. So Gio.
Yeah, so super excited to be with you all today. It's in January. We want to ensure every quarter we're coming to address people live with learnings and observations about our organization, but also learning and observations of what we've seen in a part of the profession that we're lucky to serve in. We're pharmacists, and we were founded in 2016 with four founders, and we've always had the mission and vision to have pharmacists at every stage. And as we've evolved over the last couple of years, we've had a signature program called the Pills Protege Program. And most recently, last year, we launched our very first Pills platform, where we have expanded to two entities, where we have our current nonprofit organization and our current for-profit organization under the umbrella of Pills Enterprises. And so today we wanted to make sure that all of you had the opportunity to be a founding member. We're very close to our first 100 founding Pills members. And we're making sure that you understand that this is the last week to get in on the investment of $255 to be a lifetime Pills founding member. And so this week is the last week, and we want to ensure that you have the opportunity. And so how do you do that? As we share our screens right now, let's do this magic, like share screen. Bow, bam, that's amazing. Our website, pillsenterprises.org, which houses everything that we do, allows you to understand our mission, our vision, and what we're trying to do for the next 15 years till 2045. You also have the opportunity to follow us on Instagram here, on LinkedIn, and join our community, as I just mentioned here, where this will take you directly to where you're able to learn more about Pills Enterprises and make that investment. Again, after our first 100 on February 1st, we will be increasing the investment $50 to a total of $305. And then we will also be making sure that that investment, if you're not a part of the first 100, you'll have to do that every single year to stay a part of our organization. If you're able to join this week, it's a lifetime for our first 100, and we definitely want you all to be a part of that. So I go back to the website and understanding what we're trying to do here. It's not just to be pharmacists, but we want to redefine leaders at every stage, the look, the face, the feel of leaders. Our vision is by 2045, we want to redefine the value of pharmacists inside of health and wealth ecosystems. So the traditional clinical and corporate ecosystems that we're used to, biotech, biopharma, resident clinical pharmacist, clinical administrator, community pharmacist, but also we're seeing a lot of our pharmacists go into the wealth side and getting into real estate, getting into the commercial side, running businesses, running technology platforms. And so we really want to close the gap of knowledge through access to those individuals, which are all in our platform. We have a member or a representative of that. But more importantly, not access to the individuals, advancement into those ecosystems. And so all of our programming, all of our platform is focused on giving you access to people, but then also giving you programming to advance in the stage that you want to be on. We have a leadership team that is made up of a multitude of multi-generational leaders, people who have most recently secured their advancement to their next stage. We have final year students who are what we like to call chiefs, who are helping us to run the organization at the student level. We also have professionals who are running programs for people who are just entering their career and people who are looking to advance or maybe even transition to another type of career. And so we have people that are in pharma on the commercial side. We have people who are in academia and who are helping people get into and teach. And we also have people on the medical side. And lastly, we have leaders who are also very tenured in their careers and helping people plus up and to become executives. We have decision makers. And again, we have people on the clinical side, people on the government side, and people on the commercial side. And so some of the observations that we've seen is we used to only focus on final year students. We started to expand and make sure that we're getting people both earlier in their career and people who might seem like they're past their prime, and people who are still leaders in later in their career, and allowing them to be also interns as part of our program, where they're doing 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12-week engagements to do some of the work that we need to do here on behalf of the leaders at PILS. So with that, we also have a board that oversees this and helps us to make decisions. And we want to make sure that you all have the opportunity to partake in this. As I take a step back and I share, hey, we're coming up on 10 years, I want to ask my brother Josh, what are some of the learnings and observations that you've seen from not just people who have done well as leaders inside of our community, but people who've done well as leaders outside of our community?
Yeah, I have several observations, but if I could think of maybe one top observation that leaders today had to be successful in is to be resilient. I think a lot of leaders today are facing a lot of different challenges, whether you have personal challenges, professional challenges, both challenges at the same time. They're definitely resilient, that no matter what, they understand the mission that they have. So I think about Chandler. He works at the VA and he is our CFO actually. And he had to deal with government shutdown and figuring out if he's going to even get a chance to recruit the next generation of leaders. So he had to deal with that. We have individuals that lost their jobs. And so we actually have proteges that were trying to figure out what's their next stage. And so they had to leverage their community and leverage their strengths and maybe even learn new strengths to get that next job. And then also when you're talking about even our clinical leaders, there's been an influx of individuals that are leaving the clinical area and going into pharma. That can cause some disruption in the healthcare field, while at the same time we're managing drug shortages and COVID vaccines and not even knowing if we can vaccinate our patients. And so a lot of those leaders really had to be resilient in that time. And I think they are the most successful because they're agile. They don't waver when the mission doesn't change, but they may have different circumstances. So they're able to be resilient and leverage the community, leverage their experiences, and continue to stand on mission and go for what they need to go for. And that's really making sure that you're visible no matter where you are, no matter where you're going, but you're literally standing on mission, being in the front and center and leading the charge ahead, no matter the circumstances. So resiliency is what makes a great leader, and that what makes our community even a great community to be in today.
Love that. And I definitely think not just being resilient from a standpoint of doing different things, but being and having a resilient mindset, not allowing what's going on both in the world and in their homes to change who they are, what they're trying to do. Everyone's human. Everyone goes through things, but having the, as you mentioned, resiliency to continue year over year, month over month, day over day, to continue to lead towards something. I think it's definitely something that we've seen in some of the leaders who have been very successful. If I had to answer my own question, and it's something that I'm continuing to work more on, some of the observations that I've seen in the great leaders, both ahead of me and coming after me, is being vulnerable. I think the ability to be truly vulnerable with some of the obstacles that people are facing, leaders are facing, being truly vulnerable with some of the things that someone doesn't know, being truly vulnerable with, hey, what they're going to do to make it happen, has also been an anchor to help success come at every stage. Most specifically, that vulnerability has allowed them to know that they can't do the successful thing that they want to do on their own. And so they've sought out help. And so as I think of some of my proteges, who I won't name, but anybody that I've coached, literally had to happen because they saw like, hey, they could not get to where they wanted to get to on their own. They needed more people. And I guess I will call out one because I'm super proud of her. She continues to be the person who has created an organization where I always joke is a little bit bigger than ours. And she just started, Chelsea, who I'm proud to be her protege. She has started another organization, Doses of Melanin, has given out over $20,000 of scholarship and didn't have the answers. She was not told by anybody. She saw something. She was vulnerable to say she didn't have the answers. Got a group of people through the learning of going through the protege program, use those same things of, hey, I've been in SNAFA, I've been a part of PILS, and I want to continue to partner with PILS, but I also have my own mission and vision. And I'm very vulnerable. No, I don't know everything. George, can you help me think about this? But then after that, George, I want to do my thing. And I'm vulnerable to know that, hey, I don't want to be the face of it. So I want to put a team of people and I'm in the background. And I only come in when I need to. I love that. And not only that, she's at NVIDIA. She hates social media. But if you look at her LinkedIn, now, she's been very vulnerable at the biggest conferences in all of business, the JP Morgan conference, every single day, putting herself out there, being vulnerable and sharing. And so as the only pharmacist at NVIDIA, her ability to be vulnerable about her journey, both in places where she doesn't like to be in social media, but also in places where she does behind the scenes and helping others with her finances, not having all the answers and still figuring out and acting and leading. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've seen from people who are not just successful, quote unquote, in the protege program and getting a fellowship and in PILS, but in real life, leading where there needs to be leadership in the gray.
And so, George, real quick, you said something there. She hated to use a platform of social to get information out there, but she created an organization that gave her $20,000. She's being visible, but she's also showcasing her vulnerabilities. So, you know, she's your protege. I also feel like I share her. You know, she's mine too, my little sister. But you know, we struggle in today's society about being vocal. And so, how can the PILS platform help and leverage not only career professionals, but also, you know, aspiring students to break down those barriers and be vocal in leadership today? What are your thoughts there?
Man, I love that. I think we, as you mentioned, just to make it very practical and tactical, as I share a screen again, like bow, I want to remind everybody that this is the last week that you can be a PILS.
Do that again. Is it coming up?
Like bow, like, you know, as we share the screen. I want to be clear. This is the last week to be a founding member. And if you join PILS here, PILS, not just the protege program, PILS as an organization, it'll take you to this screen and you'll get to invest for this week only, $255 for life. Never have to pay anything again, never have to invest anything again from a financial standpoint in terms of PILS. This will give you access to what my brother Josh said about being vocal. And so vocal, this takes you to the platform. Let's say you've invested your hard-earned investment of $255 and you get into this program. It allows you to be and have a community of people who are looking for your words written, looking for your words from a visible live standpoint, and looking to provide a community where you're able to be vocal and share your thoughts. And as I say, share your thoughts, this is what our platform looks like where you can be vocal. And I'll go to our chat, which is right here, where you'll see plethora of our leaders one, wishing me happy birthday because it was just my birthday this last week. But then two, sharing gems of the things that they're happy to do, sharing conversations that they would potentially be scared to have out loud on LinkedIn or Instagram, but having a community of people here where they're able to share those things. We're also able to, in our platform, also go live the way we're going live right now. And obviously I can't do a live on live, but you have the opportunity as a member of our community to have events and experiences, and you have a group of people where you can reach out to them at any moment and any time through our digital platform that we have access to. We're able to be more vocal with the things that you want, you need, that you see, and also have questions for that you'd love to get some feedback on. Lastly, which I know we'll get to, this is for our entire family. So anyone that is a PILS member has access to this, but we also have a signature program that a lot of people know us for called the PILS Protege Program. And we have the last two classes specifically in this platform. But this last class that is currently technically still going on the clinical side also has access to a specific cohort. And as we look at going into the next season, which has not started yet, and it will start in Q2 of this year, we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to be vocal as a coach, as a protege. 100% of our coaches for this next season will be a part of this platform. And so you have the opportunity to, if you're an aspiring manager or leader of people, to practice by having and guiding someone towards their next stage. And so having a development opportunity to invest your time and practice, invest your time and get other coaching and guidance from people like myself, Dr. Blackwell, Dr. Jordan Opperman, who is my wife, because I didn't want to say Dr. Opperman twice for clarity, Dr. Darko, all of us who are established leaders in our respective profession. That is something also that is invaluable for you to have the opportunity to be vocal and to be vulnerable. So as I remove this back, let me try this magic one more time. I wanted to make sure and see if that's your question.
It does because you also talked about value. You create that platform creates value, and I think that's a true observation that we want to talk to you all about today. Not only does this platform provide you a community that's going to create value to you, but also it's going to be valuable to others. So imagine learning from top leaders in healthcare, major organizations across the country, and then you're able to take those skills back to your own organization, to your own protege. We really are not only about creating communities, we're about creating ecosystems. And as we amplify each other, that's the beauty of the PILS community, because we do create value not only for ourselves, but for each other. And so that 255 lifetime membership, if I have that observation, is going to create another platform for you to grow and also help others grow around you. So I think that's something that we really want to push today. That's what I heard you say, Gio. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you want to add anything to it.
I mean, we talked about vulnerability. We talked about being vocal. I love that you talked about the value. And that value, I think from PILS, we've created a lot of value for students. And I think that because of that, sometimes we're only seen as a student organization. And I understand that. But our value has also been extended towards professionals, both people who are emerging professionals. You're a first-year resident, first-year fellow, second-year resident, second-year fellow, or first-year full-time employee at an organization. And so we have programming. We have a leader, Dr. Kevin Darko, who will be leading our programming this year. He technically started last year, but took on a lot more hands-on with our protege program. And I want to make sure he gets the opportunity to do what he's been, quote unquote, hired for, to truly unlock the leadership qualities across our emerging leaders. We will have monthly programming to help cultivate that. He's already built out the programming for that. And that will be starting in Q2 of this year. And so as you're having the opportunity to get value, provide value, seek value, we're really here not just for students. We understand the pipeline of students to get you to your next stage, but it doesn't stop. As someone who's been 10 years plus in the biopharmaceutical industry, now I'll call it biotech, literally, the observation that I've seen is it doesn't stop. It's a flywheel of being vulnerable, being visible, being vocal, and being valuable over and over again, and making sure that you have coaches, guides, even people at your level to make sure that they're sharpening you. And not just sharpening you in your specific functional area. Sometimes it's learning about other functional areas and bringing that in. That's where real value is created in terms of very specifically with Josh and I, yes, being brothers, we talk about actual work stuff compliantly in terms of how we can better serve the ultimate goal of patients and people who are not always feeling their best. And so how can we get through all the red tape and be truly valuable with being connected to one another and being trusting of one another to help the true mission of anything that we want to do in this world, and that's helping people. Even if you selfishly want to help only your own family get richer, you still want to help them get richer. And so having people who are on the same mindset and goal in a specific place and area is what we're about here at Pills. And we have a specific focus on redefining leaders who lead other people who want to lead other people. So that's what I have to say about the value. And I know we have one more V. I don't know if you know, but I think we have one more V.
What does that V? So we talked about being visible, vocal, vulnerable, valuable. What's the other V?
Oh, we didn't talk about, you said it, but we didn't talk about being visible. So that was.
We didn't tell. I thought we did because clearly you showed us the whole platform. That's how we're being visible. But okay, so
let's do that one more time. Let's make that visible, that platform visible. This is the last week. And so that, because this is on live, I know it's Sunday, January 25th. You might be watching the rebroadcast. We might re-show this in other areas. This is Sunday, January 25th, 2025. I'm on the West Coast, so it's 10:47 a.m. Where are you at, Josh?
I'm Central. I'm in the Dallas, Texas. That people are getting stuck in snow. Y'all stay off the roads, but yeah, that's where I'm at, Dallas, Texas.
What time is it over there?
It is 12:47 p.m. Central.
Okay, Central time. So we have people on the East Coast. So if it's 10:48 now here on the West Coast, it's 12:48 over there. So it's probably 1:48 on the East Coast. And so shout out to, we got all the coasts, the West Coast, the Central Coast, the East Coast. We want to be visible with this opportunity for you very clearly around you get the visibility, not just of the platform, but as a person to showcase and demonstrate the things that you may need help with as you share your vulnerabilities, the places where you can be most valuable. You have an opportunity to be vocal with your hands typing, but also on the programming and lives where we have monthly programming, and you get access to get to any one of our leaders at any time daily for a direct phone call or in our platform. We can connect there. And then lastly, visibility. You get the visibility of not just you getting sharpened, but you get to see some of the greatest leaders to ever do it, how they lead, what they do. And so you get the visibility to learn by doing, learn by watching, learn by observing, and getting really shaped and fashioned to not just do what you're told, but to also lead in the darkness and the gray areas of the healthcare system, how to get more wealthy. We really do provide the playbooks, the people, and the platform for you. Anything that we missed there in being visible, vocal, valuable, and vulnerable?
Yes, sir. We did miss a very important part, a very important thing, and that's you. So what's missing in this community? This conversation is you. We need you to be visible, vocal, valuable, and vulnerable, but also within this ecosystem, in this community that we're building today. So I just really want to encourage each and every one of y'all, don't miss the lifetime membership. If I knew certain organizations had a lifetime membership and I didn't have to pay again, I would jump on that. And so we really want to make sure that we're creating a platform and a space that's not only safe for you, but also will amplify and challenge you. And that's here. And so that's an observation that you will see when you join the community. So that's the last thing I think is missing, is them.
I love that. I mean, we did this for you. We said that we wanted to come, and during this snowstorm that a lot of the country is feeling, I'm not feeling it. And That is exactly it. I understood that everybody else is feeling it, and I still wanted to come here in sunny California to make sure that I was visible, to make sure that we connected with you. And although it's all jokes, it's all serious too. We understand Josh and I are okay. We don't need to do what we're doing, but we know that we're very much so called to ensure that the next generation of leaders understand how to be visible, how to be vocal, how to be vulnerable, and how to be valuable. And more importantly, we understand that you have to invest in doing that. It's not something that you can just do for free per se. You have to put in and plant a seed and sow a seed into organizations so that they continue to help other people. But it also keeps you honest. And we understand as we're continuing to grow that we have and will continue to have opportunities to help people. And this is why we give scholarships. All of our interns and chief proteges have gotten scholarships this year. And we've been doing this for the last 10 years, and we plan on continuing that. And so the investments that you have goes towards scholarships. It goes towards this platform that we have, pay for this live platform, StreamYard, that we have. We pay for our platform, Mighty, that we host. We for our website that we built. We pay for all of these things and have been doing it out from the benefit of our pockets for the first couple of years when we didn't know better. Then we got vulnerable and we understood we had to go out and ask people, how do you scale this opportunity? And so your investment allows us to help more people, more students, more professionals become leaders. And then lastly, we want to make sure you don't come by yourself. As you can see from the power of our bond, Josh and I have been doing life together, and not just pills, life together for a very long time, in each other's weddings, making sure our wives, who are also pharmacists, are doing well and taken care of. Also, making sure our knucklehead brothers and sisters are in each other's lives as well. And so as we understand that, we know that the power of any leader is not leading by themselves, but leading side by side with at least one other person. So as you hopefully come into our community, our challenge to you is not just to keep this to yourself. How are you, at least just this week, as you join our community, coming in with at least 1 to 2 other people? Can you have a goal of not just joining our community, but convincing 1 to 2 other people to come join this leadership journey with you? That's our goal. And you don't have to have all the answers to how and why that will happen. Just know that we've had a track record of helping people be more visible, more vocal, more valuable, and more vulnerable. And we've helped them at every stage, whether they were a student or a professional. So with that, I said I was going to try to do this in 30 minutes, 27 minutes right now. I do want to give my brother Josh the last word, because he's the executive. He's the real OG. He's actually the person that recruited me. Real fun fact. He recruited me. This was Brian's idea, and Josh recruited me to Pills. Shout out to Dr. Saki and shout out to Dr. Ye. Always give them kudos, founders that we have. So I'll give the person that recruited me to Pills without all the answers the last word as we make this the last week for you to be a founding member of our organization. And you can find that at Instagram. You can find it on our website. Find it on my website, on my Instagram. The links are everywhere. Dr. Blackwell, you got it.
So the last thing I'll say is that, yes, what's missing once again is you. We showed you how we are visible. We're going to be out in communities. We're going to be on a platform. We're going to give you the tools and resources so you can be visible. We're going to give you the tools and resources, and you're going to see within the community, we're going to be valuable. But we're only going to be as valuable as the community brings value. So that's why we need you. We also want you to be vocal in your communities. Tell people about Pills. If you guys can do 10 members, get 10 members of maybe your classmates or your colleagues at your job to join this organization, because they will also bring value. Make sure that they join. But also, we're going to be vulnerable, that we need you. We're going to be vulnerable, that we are only as strong as we are together. And so with that being said, don't miss out on this lifetime opportunity of 255, because starting February 1st, I can't hold it back. I try to hold George back a little bit, just a little bit, but I can't do it any longer. We will be increasing the price from 255 to 305. But before we do that, we want you in this ecosystem. So with that, that's all I got. That's it. That's my observation at every stage. So we love y'all. We'll see you guys Thanks for joining. Stay warm, stay safe, and be blessed, y'all. Bye.